What's up, everybody, all my fellow skaters out there? We're going to be talking about the blank Cameron Talbott skate today from Rollerblade. Brand new skate on the market with 64 millimeter flat wheel setup, and first of its kind, really. We want to talk a little bit about sizing and trying to get the right size dialed in on your skates. I know how hard that is for some of you out there, and I wear an 8.5 shoe size in pretty much every type of athletic shoe. 8.5 cowboy boot, size 8 Tiva sandal, and trying to find the right skate for me has been really tough throughout the years. I feel like I have a wide foot, and to get a size that's the correct length and width to fit my foot comfortably has been something that's been a real challenge. So really what's been happening is I've had skates that are too big for quite a long time. At least 20 years almost, so we'll go through and tell you a little bit about some of the skates I had. When we were growing up, I would skate a size 10. They would always tell you get a bigger size skate than your shoe size, one size bigger. And I think that came from the original Majestic 12 and the Rollerblade shells and the liners that were in them, making them a narrow skate and something that you would want to upsize back in the mid 90s. But nowadays, I'd say about 15 or 12 years ago, I got these, which was the Aeon 72 millimeter. And at the time, they had a size 9 to 10, which is what it says on the tag here, US 9. Since then, they've changed the shells and put a different liner in them, or resized the shells. So when I bought these as they came out, this was a size 9, 9-10. But now the smaller size shell would be up to the 9. So these were definitely way too big. It has the MyFit Fat Boy liner, which once I wore that in, these skates were way too big for me, at least a size too big. But I really enjoyed skating them. They performed amazingly. And around the time I got those, I also picked up these, which is a power slide, big wheel skate, cross training skate. And this is another one I tried to downsize. It's a, I can't read the tag, but this is more of like a 9, 9.5, or 10 shell. And they're like an inch too long for my feet, so they, a lot of these, over time have created problems like you get a blister when you're trying to skate long periods of time if the skate's too big and stuff like that. So these, another one that were a size too big that I got. I tried to downsize in this shell and I couldn't get my foot in it, so I sent them back. And then this is the blank solo skate that I had back 10 years ago or so. It's got a big wheel setup now, but I had a regular Celtic frame on it at first. And supposedly the Cameron Talbott has the same part down here of the shell as the solo skate. Now these skates are a 9, 9.5, and I wanted to downsize, man. I knew that these shells were too big when I took the liner out and put my foot in, but the liners themselves is just a really bad liner. It takes up a lot of space in the back of the shell, and it doesn't extend to the full front of the shell. So you're really sacrificing a good 5 to 10 millimeters of space just because the shell is, or because the liner is designed the way it is. Another problem with these skates is the sole plate is a 2-piece system, and I don't know. The new one has a 1-piece, which is really nice. Other big problem with these skates, the cuff is like a rectangular shape. I don't know why they designed it this way. And it has the strap on the front, but I found when skating these skates that no matter how hard I pulled, I could not get this strap tight enough to make me satisfied with the fit. And I really hated the Velcro system. And like I said, the liner was designed in a weird shape. So the cuff is just a weird shape. I don't understand it. Other than that though, they were somewhat comfortable, good skate. I never tried a different liner with them. And then we have the Maxim Rollerblades. These are 9.5, and these are definitely too big for me. They're like a good, almost an inch too big, I'd say. But that's the way Rollerblade is. They have the 1 and 1.5 size shell combined, so it's better than most skates, but it's still a two size system. But these have been good. They're just a little too big. And I feel like when I'm trying to go 10 miles on these things that I get a blister on my ankle because they're too big. So I've been trying to downsize. Now this has been my best fitting skate, my main skate park skate for the last decade or less. And it's a K2 Unnatural, size 9, 270 millimeter on the inside. These fit really, really good. I can't say that I need these to be smaller. But the problem with these skates is the sole plate. The sole plate doesn't perform great for Farfignugan or torque or any of that, and really tough to do the same tricks as an Aeon with these skates. It's also a soft sole plate, so they wore down a lot. And the frame, though, fantastic frame these K2s came with. So I hope that prepared me for the Cameron Talbott skate being a little bit high of a frame, but it has a wider part right here, so it should be a better angle to try and do these tricks. And then this is the Rollerblade Maxim. So these are 9.5. We talked about that already. So yeah, we're gonna go test these out at the skate park. I've tried them on and they fit perfectly. I can feel the top of my toe hit the plastic a little bit right here, but lengthwise and fit-wise, they're really, really good. So I've been able to successfully take it down one shell size from a 9.5 to an 8.5 to fit. Really, what I say is true to size. I've been able to get not a downsize, but a true to size, because I'm an 8.5 and everything, and these fit me great. So they have a little bit of a different toe than the liner in these, so that your foot can stretch out, but I didn't even need that. And the other thing about these skates is it has a better sole plate and a much, much better cuff. The cuff is like 1,000 times better than the Trooper cuff. This cuff is super stiff. This one's soft. This one has the weird shape. This one's a round shape, like all the ones we know. So, and it has the thing. So we're gonna test these out. Maybe I'll get a clip or two, but there'll probably be a lot of people there at the park, and we'll give you a review afterwards. We are back from the skate park. We got the Rollerblade Cameron Talbott skates. Congratulations, Cameron. To have your first pro skate be this sick is such an amazing moment in life for you. And we're proud of you, brother. Skater of the year this year, I hope. But yeah, man, these skates performed really, really, really well. The sole plate is so sick, as you can see. It felt really, really, really solid. The wheels were great. It's got the 64 millimeters. And the wheels, you couldn't really tell the difference between a 60mm flat setup and the 64mm flat setup. The frame is supposed to be into the boot more than a normal skate, so that you have a little bit more of an angle compared to a big wheel setup. Now, does this solve the problem of having the frame be too tall for Royales, Farfignugens, and Torques and all that? No, not at all. You just really have to be one of those fearless skaters to do Royales and Farfignugens and stuff on a flat setup with most frames. And they slide fine when you're fearless, but if you're like me, you're older and you're not trying to break anything, you need to protect your hands for your other things that you do in life, then you're just gonna want an anti-rocker setup if you want to do any of those H-block tricks. It's such a bummer, I guess, but I'd rather have bigger wheels. I'd rather have it more fun to roll around than be able to do a couple more tricks. But I did find that I could do the switch up sole to switch sweat stance that in the past I was struggling with on my K2s. These felt a lot more solid when I would switch up to the switch sweat stance. So I feel like I can get that trick back, maybe some mistrial type tricks. Like I say, backslide royale or Favre is really probably not at my skill level something you're going to want to do too often on a big wheel setup. But other than that, man, I can say as part of the review, this is not a blank solo trooper skate. It's advertised somewhat as being the same shell as the blank solo trooper, and maybe even the black ones that were similar to the solo trooper team skates back 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But it's a completely different feel, completely different skate. Number one, the liner is night and day, so much better. I was afraid that I would have to be looking at an Intuition liner or the Nomad liner. Honestly, I'm not going to change the liner. The liner is really good. Maybe a year from now or so it will wear out and I'll get an Intuition or something. I've always just wanted to try it and I've never been able to. So maybe I'll get that. But the liners are really great. There was absolutely 0 foot pain whatsoever. I felt nothing. As I said, when I was trying them on and when I stretched my toes, I could feel the top of the shell, but when I was skating, that never came into effect. They fit perfectly, true to size, and the cuff is like 10 times better than the solo. Performs great. The only thing I didn't like was that the cuff has this thing where the strap goes into the cuff. Aesthetically, that's beautiful, but when you're trying to put your skates on, you can't really tell how far you've put it in. So on the Solomon skate back in the day, they just had a really short strap. And if I was brave, I would cut this, but I'm just not going to. So overall, man, this is an absolutely sick, out-of-the-box skate. If you're trying to get into flat, it comes with pretty much the best wheels and bearing flat setup available on the market today. This would be a great skate for me to practice my bearing cleanings on, because I've tried to learn that a little bit throughout the years. But keeping your bearings clean is it just makes the sport so much more fun. So I'm gonna try and work on that with these, but highly recommend the Cameron Talbott skate. Super sick. You're not gonna regret it. So thanks, Rollerblade. I'll catch you later.